G'day folks, Links here, and welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. So, off camera, I got the final 2 bits of the platinum line finished. I know the ending of the last video was a bit of a damp one, but I got there in the end. I just had to craft the iridium dust reactor, and then I just had to literally craft these 2 machines, and that got the line going. I do have some level emitters in various places, so if we look down here, I am level emitting on this LCR for ruthenium dust, is it? Yeah, so ruthenium dust, and I am level emitting on, I think it's on the blast furnace. I don't know if it's this one. Yeah, so I am level emitting, I'm also level emitting the various sort of intermediates, so like platinum residue dust and leech residue dust, basically so the line doesn't run indefinitely. Because I don't need huge amounts of platinum right now, or I don't need huge amounts of the platinum group metals right now, but also I don't need, I don't have the resources to let the line run continuously. So at the moment, all the line is really doing now is it's producing platinum residue, to basically build up. Well, basically, I'm level emitting leech residue as well, and that leech residue level emitter is on this one because this produces 4 leech residue per thing. There's also a level emitter on here for rhodium dust as well, so either one of those level emitters will cause this to become active. But there's no level emitter on here, so this will basically just keep going until this pipe fills up, or until this hatch. Until this hatch fills up. Once this hatch fills up, this will stop. Which is fine, because if I ever run low on rhodium, then this will activate and start consuming the fluid, and if I ever run low on leech residue, this will activate and start consuming the fluid, so this isn't a bottleneck. So what I've been doing in the meantime is just getting some of the quests that are unlocked by getting the platinum line. So I now have the IV and IV emitter and sensor, which means we can make the circuit assembler, which is probably what we're going to do this video. And obviously the IV chapter is looking a lot more complete now. If we look at the whole chapter, you know, there's definitely a big blob of green now. So I've just been doing some this is probably going to be a bit more of a infrastructure video. So obviously we now have the ability to upgrade several things and build a few new things. Obviously there'll be a bit of progression as we, build the new circuit assembler, etc. So I went ahead and got the radon loop set up. So basically this is the way that this works is that you put in 1 uranium dust and 64 plutonium-239 ingots, and that gets you the plutonium back in the form of dust, and it gets you 800 liters of radon for 1 uranium dust. The air just comes from the air intake hatch on the top, which we can now make because we're in IV. And what happens is the plutonium just gets output into the furnace, and then the furnace smelts it back to ingots and shoves it back into the input hatch, as you can see there. And we get the uranium from a ME interface that's just configured to export the uranium. We only put in 64 because I don't want this eating all of the uranium. It's ultimately capped by the tank, so the tank can hold 64 buckets. As you can see, radon is piling up in the electrolyzer, and the hatch should also be full. Yeah, so the hatch is just an LV hatch, so it has 15.3 buckets of radon in it. So we should be Should be good. I don't have any hemcrete to fill that hole. I'll have to go get some. But the other source of radon is radium dust, which we get from sifting certain ores. So if we have a look, we get it from sifting like thorium, uranium-238 ore, uraninite, and pitchblende. And basically, we sift those ores to get the radium dust. The radium dust takes just over an hour of real time to decay in these lead-lined chests. Actually, no, I think it's like an hour when it's in the chest. So, but once it decays into decayed radium dust, and it ends up in this electrolyzer. So, and then that turns into radon as well. So it's a much slower source of radon, but we just get it for free on top of after processing ores. I do plan to breed the uranium B in order to get uranium renewably, which means that I will then have renewable radon. I'm currently running this at EV, if I recall. It takes 75 seconds at HV, so I'm running it at EV just to speed it up a little bit. The other big change is that they should even be finished now. We have HSS coils now. So we can upgrade our, which we're going to do right now, we can upgrade our blast furnaces. But what we're going to do, so this will make a lot of materials, it'll make a lot of the lower tier materials faster, and it will, at the very least, give us a bit of an energy discount on some of the higher tier materials. But yeah, the plan is that these HSSG coils will be used to build a new quad EBF, purely for making silicon balls. Because one of the things that I ran into after the last video was that I ran out of silicon balls. So and at the moment, I don't really have a way of, I don't have a automated way of making those. I just changed the circuit numbers on this quad EBF here. I just changed the circuit number to 3 and then dumped a load of the ingredients in. But obviously it would be nice to have a automated way of making those. With HSSG coils at IV, the phosphorus balls take 75 seconds each. With nitrogen gas. So the hope, so basically with quad EBF, that means I can produce 4 of them every 75 seconds. That's 128 wafers, because the balls cut down into 32 wafers each. So that should be more than enough. 128 wafers, for example, is, I think, like 4,000 RAM or something like that. So we should be good. But yeah, if we get this assembled, I really should just get the wand of exchange, the exchange foci for my wand. But I haven't done much Formcraft stuff recently. So, but that will change, because now that we have the platline, we can make ender chests, and they require Formcraft. So we will be doing some Formcraft in the not too distant future, probably moving it from the ocean dimension to this dimension. But there we go. We have HSS. We have HSS coils now. And if we go, I don't know, if we chuck some iridium in. So I don't know. Iridium is, I don't know if iridium is something that I will actually get a bonus on. But if we just do 32. Wait for them to come on. Yeah, so we're not getting a time bonus, because iridium is a... Is it an IV material? I think it's an IV material. yeah, iridium is an IV material with TPV, TPV heat temperature. So these blast furnaces, if I use the scanner, are running at 6601 Kelvin. So they're definitely above the 1800 threshold to get the perfect overclock. But because iridium is an IV tier material and these are running at IV, I don't get the overclock. But when I overclock these to LUV, which I'll be able to do when we get the IV energy hatch, then they should get an overclock. Iridium should get an overclock bonus from the coils. But there will be a lot of other, basically anything EV or below will get an overclock bonus though from these coils. So yeah, they still take 50 seconds each, but they now cost less than 7,000 EU per tick. I think they were costing like 7,100 EU per tick or something like that before with the HSSG coils. Now they're costing like 69.32. So definitely a big improvement there. So that is. So what we're going to do. So this is what I want to get done today. Is a multi-block precision laser engraver, solidifier hatches for our fluid solidifier multi-block down there, quad EBF for bulls, which is where these HSSG coils will go. In fact, I've already got stuff in my inventory to start building it. Better turbine rotors. I'm not sure what material that's going to be yet. It might be HSSE, but I need to check the spreadsheet. But I think it might be HSSE. Which we can also make now that we've done the platinum line. And I want to get the IV circuit assembler. So the state of our clean room is the cutting machine is gone because I built the multi-block, which is out there. I'll show you in a sec. So I want to get rid of this next. And then the only thing in here will be the circuit assembler. Now, I might potentially build a couple of these so then I can spread the recipes out a bit more. So I'll probably build 2 of them. Or maybe 3 of them, so then I can spread the recipes out a little bit more and get a little bit more parallelization. But yeah, the cutting machine is here, so this is significantly sped up things that involve cutting recipes, especially some of the long ones, like diamond plates, which I need for AE2 stuff. So, and this is running at IV, so this will also do IV recipes, because we will need an IV cutting machine for the IV energy hatch, if I recall. And then, that's it for changes between videos. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and I'm going to get the quad EBF built for our bulls. So we should have everything, we should have almost everything we need. And then that will deal with a gap in our automation, which is the fact that we're not automatically making silicon balls. And the phosphorus balls will probably be something that we stick with for quite a while, because we're getting phosphorus renewably from the benzene setup by processing ash. There is also a phosphorus B that I could potentially look at, but at the moment we have quite a lot of phosphorus. We have 14,500 phosphorus. But when we look at the Naquadon line, which I don't think is too far away, we will... that eats a lot of phosphorus from what I can tell. So, or it uses phosphoric acid, which we don't make at the moment. So, yeah. So I'm going to go away and I'm going to sort out this quad EBF, and then we'll come back. Right, and we're back. So I've got the bottom layer. I've got the bottom layer of the quad EBF done. So all the nice, lovely color pattern because the structure isn't complete. But basically, we're running 4 EBFs at IV, so 2 EV energy hatches. They're not shared, they're in a position, so they're only available to each EBF. We then share 2 HV input hatches between each pair of EBFs, so one between that pair, one between that pair. Basically for the input gas, which will be nitrogen for now. We then have a shared output bus between each pair, one there, which will drop back into the ME interface when I go and grab it. And then we have a central, at the intersection, we have the input bus. So anything that goes in here will be picked, which will need a circuit 3. And anything that goes in here will be picked up by all 4 EBFs. It'll be really good when we get Vulcani and we can put hatches in the top. But for now, unfortunately, with regular EBFs, all the hatches have to go on the bottom. So when we're building these quads, we kind of have to fight for space. But it is definitely a simpler setup than this one. Or it's less... There'll be less sort of... it'll look roughly the same, but there'll be sort of... We won't have conduits going over there or anything like that. It'll be literally just the output buses going directly back into an ME interface. So we should be good. So... With that, we have... Just need to do these. I did 4 muffler hatches. I'm not sure if that's actually technically needed. I think you can share the muffler hatch by just putting it in the center. And I think that would actually work. But 4 muffler hatch, they cost virtually nothing. And they, you know, 4 billows of smoke. Oh, I only grabbed 3, apparently. 4 billows of smoke looks better than 1. As I noted in my very first video, for any of you that have seen it, and in the GitHub repo, which I think is in the channel description, one of the config changes I made is I did turn pollution off. So pollution is it's not a mechanic that massively interests me, and I could. I mean, it becomes less of a problem as you advance. You know, by the time you get to IV, I think it's actually quite easy to mitigate. But I feel like it would be a bit cheaty to just turn it back on now when I have many more tools to mitigate it. But they are all complete. So all we need to do is get these hooked up, and which I'll do now, and then we will have our balls. So... And that is a C11. And there we go. We now have 8 EBFs. So I will go away and I will sort out the I'll sort out the power and AE connectivity for that, and then we'll see it in action. Right, so we should have everything we need now. So we have what we have is we have a LUV line coming into an IV transformer. This will output 4 amps of IV, so what we then have is a EV high amp transformer, which will take those 4 amps, turn them into 16 amps of EV, and then we're just carrying those with black steel. Black steel cable is how we are carrying those. I just needed to remind myself how I had these actually hooked up, and then... So that now gives us 4 EBFs running at IV. What we need to do is then add nitrogen to the dual interface, so it'll export nitrogen, and we should... I don't have any fluid conduits. Conduit. We should be able to just grab some fluid conduits. Fluid conduits are more than adequate for this, simply because the throughput rate isn't... the throughput on these is pretty decent, but obviously there are some scenarios where GregTech pipe throughput is definitely better for certain use cases, but this is not actually this is not actually a problem, because this recipe, even at IV, this recipe still takes 75 seconds. So it only needs, it'll only need, I think it's 32 buckets every 75 seconds. I think that's right, isn't it? Yep. And then do the same on this side. Insert blue. Extract blue. And then for the item buses, we use item conduits. If I can click, and same thing, just extract blue, insert blue. I may have chose. I haven't played in so long. I forgot my color scheme for stuff, so I may have to change these later, but to match with my color scheme. But for now, it's fine. And then this interface will push into this pipe, which will then push into this input bus, HV input bus. So I've encoded a pattern with 4 bulls, so basically we'll make 4 at a time, because we have 4 EBFs, so we might as well. So we'll see, hopefully. Yeah, we're only using 6 channels on there. So the way that this AE network is set up, as I went through in one of my earlier videos, is I am using the under the walkways will be the backbone, which will generally connect to P2P tunnels, which I do have some of over there. But the channel use over here is so low that I've not bothered with P2P tunnels yet. But obviously, as this cable gets closer to 32 channels, then I will have to look at P2P tunnels. I'm just not bothering now because I don't need to. So that should be it then. We should be able to do that. Bring it over. And then I think that's it. I think we should be able to set it. Need to connect the cables. Connect the cables, and now we should be good. Yeah. So, in theory, if we go to here and we ask for a phosphorus, so it's going to craft 4. So if we ask it for that, it needs to craft the silicon solar grade, which is fine. So we'll just give that a second to craft the silicon. Almost there. Right, I'll just pause for a second while I wait for this, because it's gonna. Actually, no, it should be fine. So I think it crafts. That's fine. Yeah. There we go. Right, so they should be crafting now. Oh, they may. Oh, the blast furnaces will need turning on. On, and on. Fill in that hole. And they are taking, what are they? Yeah, 75 seconds each at 65, 85 EU. So that's awesome. It's not the fastest thing in the world. It's not the fastest thing in the world. Oh yeah, I thought these gave off smoke. I think I'm thinking of the Nomi factory muffler hatches. Yeah, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but we don't need them that often because they do output a lot. They do translate into a lot of wafers. But yeah, so now we have automated wafers. So, or on-demand wafers. So I'm going to look at the solidifier hatches next. So they are, where are we? So they're not awful to make with the stuff we've got now. The only thing that was really blocking us was that. I only really need 2 of these right now. One for the one for ingots and one for plates. So what is actually... So it needs a circuit 17 assembler, which is kind of annoying, because I don't believe that's a circuit we'll really use for anything else. But what I'll do is I'll craft all the bits by hand. And then... I'll craft all the bits by hand, and then I'll just shove... Oh, sorry, I'll craft all the bits that are needed, and then I'll shove them into the assembler by... I'll shove them into another assembler by hand. So we need fluid regulator. We need an IV one, which I think is made... That's made in a Circuit 3 assembler, which we do have a Circuit 3 IV assembler now. So we can shove you... We can shove you in there. And then all we'll need then is... We have the chest... we have chests in, right, have I got ink in L625? I do. We just don't have a molten recipe for it, which is something that we can which is something that we can fix. Although it needs 2. Oh yeah, it's 2 ingots. That's cool. Yeah, it's 2 ingots per thing, so that's fine. So we could technically get it directly from the ABS, but that requires me changing my ABS setup, which I don't really fancy doing. So we will just get it from the ingot. So that's fine. That's 2 ingots of Inconel. So we shove that in there, and then we want the LUV circuits I've already made. Right, we really need to empty my inventory a bit. Get rid of you, and you, and you. Yeah, there we go. Get rid of you. Shove you back in there. Right, there we go. We've made some... I don't need you anymore. Right, we've made some space. We probably don't need those anymore, or that, or that. Right, there we go. We've made some space. So we need a... So we have the LUV circuits. We have 8 nanoprocessor mainframes. We need chest, which will just be 2. I like that. You look at this and it's like an IV input hatch, an IV sensor, an IV fluid regulator, LUV circuits, and then a wooden chest. So take that. We need the IV input hat. No, not that. We then need to make the fluid regulator, which is going to take a hot second. And then we just need the molten Inconel. So that's going to be intriguing. I might actually do that by hand, because I can't grab it from the fluid terminal because there's no valid storage destination for it. So what we might do is it's just 4 ingots. Where is it? It's just 4 ingots. So we'll go grab that by hand. We will need a... Yeah, we'll need a larger cell for that. And then just grab that by... So we turn that off. Let's grab that by hand. And then what we'll do is we use this C3 assembler for making the... we gotta wait for graphene. Right, so we'll use the C3 assembler and we'll just change its circuit number to 17 to manually make the hatches. Because we won't be making many of these, I don't think. And by the time we do need to make more of them, we'll have them. Or we may just build an assembler specifically for circuit 17 recipes if need be. Because I don't... Oh, actually, it is... yeah, but a lot of this we don't... Yeah, like a lot of this we don't actually need anytime soon. Yeah, we don't... We will need one, but not anytime soon. Right, so I'll be back in a minute once everything's finished crafting. Right, and we're back. So we now have our solidifier hatches. So these functionally they're basically the same as input hatches. You put a fluid in, they have a 256 bucket buffer inside the hatch. But you also there's a slot where you also put your mold, and it will trigger the machine to run the recipe according to whatever mold is in there. So if we say I want... I should probably change that to 64. But let's just say we want 64 polyethylene bars. Polyethylene. Yeah. Or let's say we want 256. Can we actually make 250? Oh, we can. Yeah. So let's just say we want 256. Yeah, look at that. So if we go look at the machine... Yeah, it's actually... I have a feeling that it is because of the way that this is... Yeah, it's only putting in... It's not putting in like a huge amount at a time because I'm not batch crafting. I really should update that pattern to use 64 to do 64 bars at a time. But yeah, that was really quick. And what that means is we can get rid of you and you. So now we have 2 less single blocks for multi-crafting. And this may not seem like a huge sort of amount of progress now, but the thing is now that we've got this set up, we can just keep upgrading its power. Well, actually, I think you have to upgrade the glass as well to upgrade the tier. I think the tier of glass controls the tier of energy hatch, if I recall correctly. So we will have to upgrade this before we can overclock it to LUV. But for now, I actually can't even remember what it's running at. Oh, it's only running... Oh, no, it's running at IV for now. Yep. So, yeah. So, may not feel like a huge amount of progress, but getting rid of 2 single blocks is nice. And also, this will now make solidifying things a lot faster. And to upgrade it, all we have to do is upgrade the glass and the energy hatch. So that's another one off the list. So turbine rotors. I did have a look. We are probably going to be using... I just want to quickly refer back. We are probably going to use HSSS rotors. So we would need 10 of them. So if I just, to figure out how many ingots that is, if I just try and craft 10 vibrant alloy rotors, that is 500... That's 500 vibrant alloy to craft 10 rotors. So what I might do is... I'm not really in a huge rush because these are 65%. So whilst we're burning benzene, the HSS rotors will output about double what these output. So these output about 2100 EU with... Yeah, these output about, or it's about 2160. I think it's actually, yeah. But yeah, these output about 2100-ish EU with the vibrant alloy rotors. Now, a change introduced in, I think it was 2.7 or 2.6, these regular gas turbines, they are capped at an amp of IV in terms of output. So even if you put bigger output hatches on, bigger dynamo hatches on, they're not going to output more than an amp of IV. So HSSS with benzene will output about 4400 EU per tick, so over double what they're doing now. When we switch to nitrobenzene, it'll output about 8120 or something like that. And we do have room down there to switch to nitrobenzene. I just don't know when we want to do it. But yeah, we can switch to... We could do nitrobenzene in the next video, actually. So I don't think we'll end up doing this today, just because I don't think it's worth it right now, because we're not struggling for power. But what we will... And that amount of HSSS is going to take quite a while to cook, unfortunately. So if I do HSS... if we just quickly mix some, I have a feeling this is going to take a bit too long to cook. So what we might do is go for the IV circuit assembler instead. But let's just see how long that. Let's just see how long that thinks it's going to take. So if we just put it in here. I could have auto-crafted 4 because I do have auto-crafting for these, but whatever. Yeah, it's going to take 75 seconds per ingot, which again, I don't think is actually getting a bonus because I'm fairly sure it's an EV. I think HSSS is also an EV recipe, if I double check. Sorry, an IV. Oh no, it's EV. But it's only, it's not getting the 1800 bonus because it's 500. It's 5000 Kelvin. And we've only got 6600 right now. So yeah, so we'll do the IV circuit assembler. So for the IV circuit assembler, we need a So we should be able to make everything for this. Can we? You wouldn't think 2 cables would take so long. I think it's because something else is busy. There we go. So what are we? So we'll wait. So we need the conveyor. And then we should be good. So what we need to do though is we need to actually change this to an IV diode, and then we'll put the circuit assembler there. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go for the multi-plot laser engraver first, because then I don't have to worry about mixing power in the clean room. So I'm going to look at building this. So the multi-plot, the controller itself isn't that hard. It's the, I think the only thing I don't have is I don't have night null, so I'll have to sort out night null. But it's the hatches that are kind of the problem. So I need to figure out where to get cubic zirconia, and I need to figure out where, yeah, I need to figure out where to get cubic zirconia. But everything else seems fine. And I think the source hatch and the target hatch are virtually similar. Yeah, the source hatch, yeah. The only difference is one uses a sensor and one uses an emitter. But we can make these now. So I just need to figure out how to get cubic zirconia. So I will be back in a bit. Everything else that it needs is fairly easy to craft. I don't know what. Everything else it needs is fairly easy to craft. It's just the, yeah, it's just the laser hatches that I need to sort of figure out, because I've not made cubic zirconia before. Oh, like laser resistant plate. Oh, that's just reinforced stone. That's fine. Yeah, so I'll go away and look at this and come back once I've got the parts. And we are back. So I massively underestimated the requirements to build the precision laser engraver multi-block, but we have it now. So I actually, building this thing, I actually got a bit confused, and I do just want to point it out. So I looked at the NEI preview and kind of assumed that because there's a laser source hatch as part of the structure, I kind of assumed the laser target hatch was part of the structure as well, but it's not. It's just this NEI preview, the way it's auto-generated, will include sort of all the blocks that could be used to make the, or, you know, will sort of include all the one of each sort of type of block, so one energy hatch, one input bus, output bus, etc. But you actually can't use target hatches with these multi-blocks until you get, what is it, like UMV glass or whatever, or UAV laser source, that's it. So I would actually like to give a shout out to one of the GTNH devs, 4. She pointed me in the right direction, showed me where I was going wrong, and also imparted me a piece of advice that I will impart to you, which is basically don't trust the NEI preview completely. You are better off trusting the tooltip, because the NEI preview is programmatically generated, whereas the tooltip is something that's actually been written by a person. So yeah, So definitely grateful to her, because I was really racking my brain as to why the multi-block was showing the right textures, indicating that it was formed, but it was still moaning about incomplete structure. I'm also going to use one of these for the first time, which is the multi-block hologram projector. I don't actually I've never actually used one of these before, so I think we're going to put it probably here, and then if we right click on it, this is basically what it looks like. So we could probably move it over a bit, actually. We could probably move it over a bit and maybe put it here instead. Yeah. So actually, no, we'll move it over. We'll move it over the other side, just one block. So we'll put it there. Now, in theory, what we should be able to do... I just realized I'm missing the tungsten steel frame boxes. How many of those do we need? We need 9. Tungsten steel frame box. 9. Quickly grab those. So, the most annoying thing about this is the fact that it needs nitinol. And nitinol is a pain, because not only is it an IV blast furnace material that has an insane cooking time of 312 seconds per ingot, but everything to do with nitinol is also IV. So, you know, for other IV materials, so if I use, like, I don't know, if I use iridium, for example, you can make a iridium rod you can make that in a HV extruder, but the all the nitinol recipes, the plate recipe, the rod recipe, even like the frame box recipe, I'm fairly sure. Actually, no, I think the frame box recipe. Oh no, yeah, no, the frame box recipe. They're all IV, which is really annoying. So that was actually probably the most annoying part was nitinol. Oh, I just realized I don't have the source hatch, the laser source hatch, so we can't build it yet. What we'll do is so basically we do that, and I'm actually gonna auto. Okay. Anyway, so we'll build this out. So yeah, this is quite handy. Because I do like using the multi-block previews in Factory. I mean, in Factory they're really nice because you just literally right-click on the, I think it's sneak right-click on the multi-block, and then you're good. But oh, there was only 7 there. But yeah, this is definitely, yeah, this is nice. But it would be nice if you didn't need an item in order to, you know, get it. But yeah, so we'll get this built. I will have to go and get the I will unfortunately have to go and get the I will have to go and get the I will have to go and make the source hatch, unfortunately. So I will cut for that in a sec. But yeah, if we get this is a really cool looking multi-block, actually. I do like this. I've run out of casings. Okay. Right, I'll be back in a sec. I've clearly come in underprepared. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Or probably longer. Right, we're back. So I'm just waiting for the laser source hatch to craft. So in the meantime, we will... I just realised we should probably have motors. So we got some IV loot bags from various quests, and we should probably see if what our luck is like. So I crafted the IV circuit assembler as well while I was waiting. So we now have the IV circuit assembler. So this is really good. Really good progression over the last couple of days. But if we grab these, let's see how lucky we are. So get rid of you as well. Put you there. Oh, that was boring. Mostly boring. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's actually not too bad. 32 nano processors. But yeah, that's not great. I'll just, yeah. I mean, that actually, to be fair, that is oh, actually, I think that's 1024 RAM. So that's actually not too terrible. But yeah, so could have been worse. But we should now have our laser source hatch. So the way that this will work is with this laser source hatch, we will be able to do IV and IV recipes. So if we do that, oh, there we go, complete. This is a cool looking multi-block. It really is. This actually looks awesome. So yeah, you can see there max parallel is 3 and max tier is IV. The parallels are determined by the cube root of the amperage of the laser source hatch. So the cube root of 32 amps is, I think it's actually like 3.17 or something like that. I assume they round down or round up. But yeah, I assume they just round appropriately, because I think it was like 3.17 or something like that. But yeah, so there we go. So we actually, the way this will work now is, I'm not going to do this on camera because it's actually quite boring. But basically we have all these lenses, and if you look here, it has input separation turned on. So what we can do now is we can put these lenses into each hatch, sorry, into each input bus, and then we can attach a ME interface to each one, and basically at that point we can do all of our precision laser engraving in a single multi-block. This is awesome. This is actually a really big quality of life thing. Nice quality of life change. I'm not going to do the interface encoding, and I'm missing one input hatch because I forgot to account for the fact that the laser engraver in here actually has a hatch in it. Sorry, it has a lens in it. But yeah, I'll deal with the ME interfaces off camera. I'm sure you don't want to see me configure 10 ME interfaces worth of recipes. And then it's going to ruin my symmetry having 11 lenses though, which is unfortunate. I might be able to use this one actually, because I don't think this is used for... Yeah, this is only used for Galactic Craft stuff, so I'm just going to shove that in there. There we go. Oh, actually, hang on. No, because it will collide with... You know what? Let's just not do that. I don't need the reinforced lens at the moment. It's only used for making GC wafers, and I don't think that'll be a thing. So yeah, that's the precision laser engraver multi-block. So we have done tungsten steel reinforced borosilicate glass, which will allow us to eventually swap this source hatch with an IV source hatch, which will then allow us to overclock this to LUV and run LUV recipes. But we need a IV, I think it's an IV dynamo hatch that we need. So if I look at, yeah, IV32, yeah, IV dynamo hatch, which we can't craft yet, because we can't do IV energy hatches, because we need an IV laser engraver. So yeah, this will be really good. So all I got to do now is basically tear these down and place down our new circuit assembler. So I will sort that quickly and then we'll wrap up. Right, and here we go. So clean room is looking very empty now. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'll craft a second one of these, and then I might split the recipes a bit, just because making an LUV circuit basically requires that one, then that one, then that one, then the LUV circuit. So I just want to split them up a bit to basically make those circuit crafts faster. But yeah, we have our precision multi-laser engraver block. I think I said those words the wrong way around. We have our precision laser engraver multi-block now. I've taken the ME interface out the clean room, which was for the Opal lens, and named it PLE Opal. I will go through and do all the others off camera, and then we'll be able to do proper auto crafting with laser engraving. And then I think the next video is going to be upgrading power, because the night null stuff basically proved that I really could do with a stronger power infrastructure. So I will look at doing that in the next video, look at how we upgrade power. So if you've made it this far, I really appreciate you watching, and thank you again. And I'll see you all in the next one.